Then Lady Z, it's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. In God we trust.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's People to People. People to People with Rodney Grimes. Here it is. It's Let's Talk About It Wednesday. Let's Talk About It Wednesday. Before, I got the life coach, Hanadi, with me. But before I even get into that, again, I just want to, again, do a little bit of promoting on these authors that I've been dealing with. And so I just want to keep pushing and pushing that we got to support each other and make sure that we are doing what's necessary to keep these guys going. So the first book that I got up here is Wrongfully Accused by Richard A. Taylor, the host of U-Turn. Remember, he has about 4 books, maybe 5, because I think he's working on another one. But I got 4 of them here in the studio. Wrongfully Accused is the one that I'm still reading. Phenomenal. First of all, the book is phenomenal itself, but you need to go to his program. The program is just awesome. The information that he's and the people that he's having on there, it's just blowing my mind. The conversation that I was able to enjoy on his program. That's Tuesday, every Tuesday at 8:00. U-Turn. And as we move forward, I'm gonna be able to make sure that we have the appropriate addresses and things of that nature as well. You know what's going to be really exciting? Guess who's supposed to be here this weekend? We got Frank Johnson. Frank Johnson from the music guru and you know, the man who was doing everything out of Baltimore. When I say music guru, Frank was really involved in the music business. He wrote a book called Ambitious. And I'm telling you, this is an amazing book. I am more than halfway finished reading it. And it's just phenomenal. He's going to be here Saturday. So y'all want to definitely tune in. He'll be the guest Saturday morning at 10:00 here on People to People with Rodney Grimes. Okay. I remember the other gentleman I was talking about, Terrence Dorsey. Okay. Who's over in the Tyson Corner Mall. And from what I understand, too, I forgot to mention the other day, he also have a book stand, I believe, down in Annapolis, in the Annapolis Mall. I'm going to find out and make sure that I get that information, okay? So I'm really excited about this gentleman. Actually, I purchased a book from him the other day for support. He being the brother that he is, and, you know, he gave me the second book as well, and plus a journal to go along with it. We got to make sure these guys' story is getting out and being told. So I wanted to make sure that I jumped out there. Also, don't forget about Drink to Shrink, okay? You know, that's the young lady out of Baltimore, Miss Angel Cook, okay? So, and tomorrow we got a special going on too, because I got a gentleman, one of the leaderships from the Chambers of Commerce will be in on the program as well tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. This is going to be a powerful week coming up and going into the next couple of months. Man, it's crazy. So now, without further ado, let me bring Miss Hanadi in, my life coach. How you doing, sweetie?
I'm very well, thank you.
I am always excited to see you. So people don't know this. Hanadi gets on me when we by herself. She be still coaching all the time when she talking to me. And the topic today is life coaching, right? And the reason why I kind of stayed at that is because it never stops. It never stops. With everything that we're going through, everything that we have to deal with, you know, life itself, it is something. And so it is imperative that we continue to get help, but at the same time, we have to understand how to coach ourselves.
Oh, that's interesting.
right?
Yeah, I was wondering when you said, because as everyone knows, we don't prepare. The topic comes just when we start the show itself. So when you said the topic today is life coaching, I said there must be something on his mind about life coaching, because we've been talking about this in always. We never stop talking about the general concept. So now you're bringing up an interesting aspect of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, basically, I think that what's really important for many people is to understand that coaching, it never stops. No matter how old you are, it's almost like it's a part of development, right?
It's a lifestyle. It becomes a lifestyle.
Okay.
Like, for example, now talk about water. You just mentioned something like that. It's if you know that it's healthy to drink 2 liters of water every day, then you cannot do with half liter a day, right?
Right.
Yeah. Then it's embedded in you. This becomes a lifestyle, and you have to feed in it every time. Otherwise, we can easily slip back to the negativity again. But there's a lot in life coaching. More, it's not just being positive. It's knowing how to deal with yourself, how to address the challenges that you pass through, how to deal with yourself first, and then how you deal with others around you and with any situations that arises. Having to say that everyone needs a support. Everyone, no matter how advanced they become in their spiritual or the knowledge about themselves, but everyone keeps needing support because life keeps throwing challenges on us, right?
Yes.
I mean, again, I cannot be more grateful than having to deal with you, because coaching you had really taught me a lot about myself and about coaching itself, because you're receptive, as we said before. You're receptive and you're taking it serious, and you are implementing it. So together, the coach and the client, they always get curious. Curiosity is important aspect of the coaching, because I get curious about what you're telling me. Not curious in terms I want to know, not at all. It's curious about the challenge itself, what brought you there, and how can we move forward from that situation. Life coaching is not therapy. It's not, I mean, it's part of the therapy, but it's not psychotherapy. It's very different than psychotherapy. It's different than the psychology or the medical part. It's how to move forward, how to fly, They always say, maybe I mentioned this before, psychotherapists, they bring you out of the hole and the coaches help you to fly. So we're here to help everyone to fly.
How about that? And that's one of the things that I want people to know. I put myself in the seat where my life coach is, and I expose my emotions and my true feelings but I want the guest to listen to what the coach is saying. Listen to what she's talking about, because this is for you as well. You can put yourself in my position. I don't want to talk about other people's personal life, so I talk about mine. I have a lot of things I have to deal with. So
and we all relate to each other in that aspect, because when you tell me something about yourself, there will be always a part of it that I can relate to. It's a human experience. We're all same. We're not separated, right? We all belong to the same planet, the same issues, the same challenges. So that's why I always remember tell you memoir is my favorite readings, because in everybody's experience there's some part that we relate to, and that's what makes us close and want us to see more and listen more. And by saying that you're not embarrassed by sharing your emotions or showing it, that's actually strength. I mean, accepting the vulnerability, this is a great, great, great power, because you want to understand it, you want to move on, you want to actually get the advantage of the growth that every experience brings to us. And this is what I keep seeing, that you continuously do that. And it's powerful. It's very powerful. Empowering, I would say.
Well, most of that comes from, first of all, me believing in God and being a spiritual man. Understand that I try to do things that I think are pleasing to God, even though I know I'm not perfect and I still mess up.
No one is perfect, right?
Yeah. But, and then when I think about those people who are out there who are afraid to expose their feelings, who are afraid to deal with the truth, then I say, okay, well, if they see that it's helping me because I'm growing. What I wanted to ask you, dealing with me carrying other people's negative energy when in relationships. Mm-hmm. We talk about things, right?
Right.
So a lot of times that negative energy that I carry unnecessarily. How do I really block that out? How do I block that out so that I don't let, something that I don't have that much control over manipulate me?
Okay. Before I go to the answer, let's give example of that. Generic example. How does it get into you?
Say like it's people who I care a lot about, and they seem to want to make me feel that everything that went wrong in the relationship is my fault. And I pray over it, and I'm looking and say, okay, I want beauty, I want love to come out of this. I want some understanding to come out of it. And then when I realize that they're not there, it kind of, it somehow enough I still carry it, and I don't want to do that anymore.
Okay. You've already answered part of it. I mean, the first thing is that you immediately realize what's going on. You understood the situation, that there's a drama here going, or the situation here going, and it's trying to drag me in, So the first step always is realizing what's going on, understanding what's the situation, what does it mean, and where am I going to? And then make a decision right away there. Do I want to get involved in that and react to it, or I want to keep myself, keep my sanity, keep my being rooted, like you stand solid in your place and then deal with it. The easiest thing that comes to mind is immediately when in a situation like that, become an observer. Take yourself out of the situation and be the observer of what's going on. So you deal with it you're not taking it personally, because you know that the other person is not maybe at this situation at that time. It's not their full self. They're not the best part of what they can show. So there's a situation here. You choose, am I going to react to it, or am I going to, respond in a different way, in a healthier way? And that would be number one, seeing what it is, realizing what it is, understanding it, accepting that you are there, and then deal with it from that observer place. And will always remember that because of this situation, this person or the other party this is not who they are. And me reacting, this is not who am I also. So just go back to the deep you. We call it the deep I. That is the part in us that is always all right. I think we just had a conversation before the session about that part in us. It's our choice to make it alive, always alive. Because no matter what we're passing through, no matter how sad or happy or joyful, down or what, that part in us is always steady because it's present. So we just want to draw the attention. Is that where you go? Mentally, that's where you go. So you don't deal with reaction. You don't deal with ego. You are not concerned at that point, to prove yourself right.
Right.
Right?
Right. Right. I see.
So you don't want to prove yourself right. That person is trying to make you feel responsible of something. Don't fall into the victim role immediately. Okay, you see what she's doing or what he's doing. It's not fair for me. I've not done that. Just have the empathy for yourself or the other person and deal from that. And I'm sure you would do the right thing at that situation because you're not in the victim seat.
Right. Excuse me. So with me, many times I do find that, and this is probably for many people, that, we fall victim unnecessarily.
All the time.
And
most of the time, I would say.
Yeah. Even doing the people to people project and helping and doing some of the things, I start looking around and I'm like, man, a lot of people, do they really understand, what all goes into it? And then sometimes I start to carry that weight, and I carry the weight for all these people. And then I'll be like, okay, Rodney, but, you're not God. You're not God. You can't save everybody, but still in my spirit, I still want to see some type of success for them. And I feel like I can contribute a little bit. Even if it's like a man who's hungry, I give him a few dollars so he eat, you know? And
I think, Rodney, part of it comes of what the culture made us believe. I mean,
yes.
Okay. Maybe the way you brought up, maybe your environment made you feel you're responsible. You're always responsible. So growing up, this continued. It carried on with you. Like, you're responsible to fix everything and fix everybody, right?
Yes.
But then I think when you look deep down, you know that you cannot do that because no one can do that. No one can fix things. But the best situation or the best way you can help is being present for these people. Being present by being yourself. Just let them feel the good in you. I'm sure you had many situations like that. I don't know if something comes in your mind, but sometimes helping means just be there.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. Don't even say something sometimes.
Yeah.
Just the present by itself is a support.
Yes.
So it's in the mind, it's in our mind that, no, I have to do this and I have to fix it. And personally, I mean, recently I had a situation. I was talking to a friend and she was trying to give me solutions. And then I said, please stop. I don't want really solutions. I just wanted to talk about it. But by you being my friend, maybe just by listening, that's all what I need.
Yeah.
So, but again, I would go and say that is culture thing. It's the way we brought up that you have to do actions to show that you support. Or I mean, sometimes things needs action. Yeah, that it will be clear and then you'll take it. But other than that, we're overwhelming ourselves and overwhelming the person that we're talking to.
Yeah.
I want you to start trying this from tomorrow, let's say. Whatever, because I know this is your major issue lately, that you feel you have to do things for others. Continuously, you need to do things for others. So let's start by the thing. We define it here just by being you.
Yeah.
How about that?
I'm more so like, remember, I think last week he was like, Rodney, just take a day, don't do nothing. It's okay not to do anything.
How did it work for you?
You know what? It was stressful in the beginning, but in the end, it was rewarding because I was like, man, it's okay for me to just relax sometime and just don't do anything. It's not wrong for me not to have to dump the trash right now. You know, or to call this person and say, yo, are you okay? I laid in the bed and I started watching Andy Griffin, and which is one of my favorite shows. I love that. That's a show that I love because it always gives you something positive coming out of it, and it's a lot of love, right? And I just laid there, and as the night went on, I just kind of felt like I did me some justice for one time. You know, it was like...
How about doing this every now and then? Like at least once a week or twice a week, you just decide consciously that I'm doing nothing today. This is, I call it for myself a day. So that means I'm just lying on the sofa doing nothing.
Yeah.
Watching TV or just meditating or anything. But it's very rewarding, as what you said.
Yes.
So do you think you can do it at least once a week?
Once a week might be asking a lot.
Half day.
No. You know what? I gotta find it. I gotta find at least one day. One day. I don't know. Maybe I can make it on a Sunday. You know, that's the day that we post the rest anyway. You know, but I gotta find a way to do that. What did it
give you? What did it create for you?
Some peace. That's what I got. Because I refused that day to even think about anybody.
Good.
I didn't think about nobody. I wasn't thinking about no problems with nobody. And every time they came up, I say, today ain't today. I'm not thinking about it. But you know, it happens, you know, and it's not easy. But, you know, what I want to do for some of the guests who's watching and hearing our conversation, what we want to do is to help you to try to find solutions to your problems, find solutions to your lifestyle. That's the purpose, even why I have a life coach. And I have a therapist that I talk to as well. But more so, what I've getting out of this is my relationship that I have with God and myself. When I'm really learning to love me, and loving me is more rewarding than anything, because I know how to give that love back to other people.
That's the point. When you love yourself, then you're able to love others more.
Yes.
You cannot give what you don't have. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Right?
And you got to practice it.
And you got to pay attention to the concept. I understand it. Loving yourself, it doesn't mean be selfish and put yourself first. Not in that sense. It's be healthy. Then try to help others. If you're not capable, then you cannot give it to others. Now, when you said I'm seeing a therapist and I'm having coach, maybe you can help people to understand, because you've been in both fields. What's the difference? How does it work for you, being there and here?
Okay, so with my therapist, what she does is she kind of medicates my situations. So she'll hear me, and then she'll say, "Okay, I'm going to give you this. Do that and see what happens." Right?
Do that in terms of actions.
Actions, right? With my life coach, you bring me to the reality of where I am right then and there. The difference is right there, I might even be emotional. I might be happy, sad, or whatever, but I literally deal with it right then.
The present moment. Always we're dealing with the present
Yes.
moment. Yeah.
And so that's the
Okay.
difference. With my therapist, I study what she says to me. Oh, she said this. She said, yeah. And then I reminisce and I go back and think, oh, okay, then that's probably why I do that. But when we have our sessions, what I do is I automatically go, I don't have to worry about that. No.
Do you feel they contradict each other or they complement each other?
No, they complement each other. They do. It's some people, having you as the life coach, I'm a talker. But you sometimes you listen and let me talk myself right into a situation where you're gonna say, now tell me why you like that.
No. No. There's no judgment at all in coaching, and it has to be a safe place.
Okay.
Where you're allowed to be whatever you want to be. That's what coaching is about.
Okay.
You've given full permission to be yourself, to express yourself, and it's very important that you feel you're safe.
Yes.
And you feel you are allowed to be vulnerable. I mean, dealing with vulnerability is it's not easy. The concept by itself is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to accept, but once we get there, then it's very revealing, because it's like taking off burdens out of your shoulders, and you feel lighter after that.
Yes. I mean, me, like I said, I know I have a long way to go. And when I say a long way, because I'm constantly just trying to develop in a positive way. And I try to do this every day. I try to be a much better person. So, I have to take my time and just focus on trying to be a better me. And so it's not easy all the time. But what I do definitely like people to know is, don't be ashamed to love. Don't be ashamed to share your feelings.
Yes,
and
share.
yeah. And
Confront your feelings, to understand them, to honor them, I would say.
How about that?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be quiet. You got to talk to the guests and tell them, give them some coaching real quick, so something that they could think about.
I mean, if they can do, well, if one thing I can share today, it's allow yourself, give yourself permission to be who you are, to face and confront is something advanced stage, but for now, just allow yourself to be, deal with what you have to deal with the empathy, with love, with passion, and just focus in what's happening on this present moment. In this present moment, how are you feeling? You're fine, health, mental health, your emotions. Just try to define what's happened in this specific moment. And the present moment, it's always great. It's always good. And from there we can take it. And we're welcoming here any questions, any challenges. We're trying to share the tips that we can deal with and handle issues with. But to start with, I would say give yourself permission, empathy and love and present moment. Just let's focus on these concepts.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. What I'm really liking is that, we continue to grow, and we support those that's out there. And all those that's out there, remember, you can call in. You can ask questions. The number is 703-752-6120. The number is 703-752-6120. Please don't feel like you can't call in and ask questions. Also, remember our Cash App, which is a $RG1960. The $RG1960. Oh, we got a caller. Let's see. Hello. How you doing, caller? State your name and where you calling from.
I'm wonderful. This is Richard Taylor. I am calling from Goldsboro, North Carolina. How's the family doing?
Everybody's doing well. We doing well.
That's good. Doctor, I do have a quick question for you. And I thank you as well for the knowledge and everything that you are presenting to us today. I just heard you say something about allowing yourself to be. And I don't really necessarily have a problem with being who I am. Sometimes I have a problem with trying to live up to the expectations of others or the demands of others. When necessarily I may not want to, and these people may be loved ones, families, friends, different type of relationships. How do you deal with that when and the expectations might not even be bad expectations, or may not be too demanding, but living, it just struck me when you said, allowing yourself to be, instead of being defined by what others sometimes expect you to be. What kind of advice would you give someone like that who was having trouble, not trying to live up to the expectations of others?
That's for you.
That's for me. Thank you very much, first of all, for joining and for the question. And it's a great question. Expectations. I think our last show we spoke a lot about expectations. The first question I would ask here, what makes you feel that you have to meet the expectations?
Because of the relationship, because of the dynamics of the relationship. Just say it's, family members. Like by family, you may say mother or father, or, close friends that you have known since birth.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like those really close relationships like that.
Okay. And what happens if you do not meet exactly what they expect from you, but you did it the way you think that it can help them? You can help them at your own terms or whatever you are able to provide.
I think that in some cases they may end up disappointed, but I would feel better. About just doing things in my particular way. And as far as demands go, I once again, when you don't meet people's demands, once again, you make them disappointment. You make them get disappointed, but once again, I would feel better as being, me or myself, or, being myself in whatever capacity that means at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you can imagine that you have, I'm sure, a big family or a small family, but you'll be surrounded by family, friends, colleagues. And if you want to accustom yourself to please everyone in their own terms, that would make it, I think, impossible or extremely challenging. It's not doable that you cannot accustom yourself to suit everyone's situation, right? That's not human even. But what I can suggest here, it's when you be yourself, and this is the advice we gave earlier. It's when you be yourself and you're rooted, you're contained, you feel peace within yourself. Then this transmit to the other people around you. They feel it, and among that, or during this process, they can take from it the support that they need. Because if you're going out of your way and pushing yourself, then something in you will not be real or truthful, because you're overwhelmed. You're trying to do something that it's not maybe or necessarily represent the inner you. So I would always say, and I'm talking to you out of experience as well, personal experience, when you be yourself and try to enhance the love in you and be good and be peaceful and be contained, then you can deal with the situations in front of you. It might not be what they expect or they want, but later on, it will come up to them like that. It will show them the support. They will feel the support in your own way, not necessarily exactly feeling the agenda that they put for you.
Okay. Okay.
Just be true. I mean, truth is always helpful. Always. If you're being true to yourself, then you can be truthful to the others too.
Okay. I got it. Thank you so much.
I wish you all the best, and you can always continue the conversation on the chat. We keep sharing tips and ways to remain contained, and then how to deal with challenges. But you're welcome to carry on the discussions on the chat.
All right, thank you. And I don't want to mispronounce your last name. How do we say it again?
My name is Hanadi Ali, but you can call me Hannah. Everyone here calls me Hannah. It's
Hannah.
easier.
Okay.
I wish you all the best. Thanks for your call.
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. Thank you as well, Rodney. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, my brother. Peace and blessings to you. I love that.
Right,
I love that show yesterday, man. I really had a good time.
Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm actually about to upload our show to YouTube as well, so you'll see that up there by tonight. So,
okay.
If anybody wants to check out the U-Turn show, it is available on YouTube. So just look in the U-Turn show. And I thank you for taking the time out to join me, and also thank you for watching as well.
For sure, my brother, always. God bless. So,
See y'all later.
All right, peace. Ladies and gentlemen, it was just amazing. Again, it's People to People with Rodney Grimes. We got the coach, Hanadi Ali, in. She's an amazing woman. And the teaching and the information that she shares is always so powerful. So please feel free to call in and ask her questions. I'm getting ready to switch out of the hot seat because Christy Love getting ready to come in. And you know that girl talk, her and Hannah, they get real wicked with it. So Christy's getting ready to come get over here. And I'm going to step to the side and, see what's going on. Christy, you got something for him?
Yes, we do.
All right. So you going to come on over and y'all just remember, it's all about love, right? Yes, we love that. So, I am again, just want to tell everybody, don't give up on your dreams. Follow them. Put that work in, because if you can't love yourself, how you going to love anybody else?
As simple as that.
As simple as that. There you go, Christy. Come on, baby.
Thank you, Rodney.
Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. In God we trust.
right. Well, it's good to see you.
Good to see you again.
All right, everybody. We're back with People to People, and we're here to continue the chat. And don't forget to call in. Again, the phone number is 703 703-752-6120, 703-752-6120. We are here to be engaged and give you guys coaching on the spot.
That's a better way to put it. That's a very nice way. Yeah, I mean, we love to share, and it's we're brainstorming ideas, techniques, and whatever comes to mind.
Yes, and I like that we come from two different techniques, like two different ways of how to coach. So it's
we
good.
share the base.
Yes, we do. I think we were going to continue with forgiveness.
Yeah, I mean, we last time we talked about expectations, so we decided this week maybe we can talk a little bit about forgiveness. Mm-hmm. It's hard to cover it in half an hour.
It is, but and it kind of overlaps because when Richard called, he was talking about expectations.
Right.
And I was actually just going through expectations yesterday. Because I felt bad with my podcast. I did only 30 minutes and it was supposed to be 60. But the thing is, like you gave Richard advice to just, sometimes you have to say no. Sometimes you have to do what's best for yourself. And it's okay. So you have to forgive yourself.
They link somehow, right?
Yeah, they
do.
do.
The two topics, they relate to each other. Yeah.
Because how can you forgive someone else if you haven't forgiven yourself?
That's always, it starts with that. It starts with self-forgiveness. But it's interesting. Maybe you want to share with us what happened with you with the expectation, then we can move on that or what?
No, we're not. We're here for the people. But it's just when you have...
No, the concept of it, I mean.
The concept is, for me, I think with forgiveness is so many levels. So I like to figure out what it is that am I trying to forgive myself? Is there something I did? I always check in with myself, or I have my clients check in and let them know, like, usually the clients will tell me, I need to forgive myself because of this situation. Or they will tell me, I'm upset with this situation or this person. But then I also bring them to the concept, well, what happened? And is there, there's always two sides.
Right.
What did you manifest in the situation? Mm-hmm. And then let them know if there's anything that you need to forgive about this situation, or or you're okay. So
you know what do you Christy, think? I mean, there's with me and this topic, there's been a long journey of understanding what it means. Mm-hmm. So maybe let's start by defining what's the meaning of understanding, and people can join us here by sharing what's their understanding of forgiveness. Because what I understood, sometimes people think when you say I forgive you, it means it's okay with me, whatever you've done, and I'm okay, and let's go back to how we were.
Yeah, no.
Do you take forgiveness like that?
No.
So what's your understanding for forgiveness?
My understanding of forgiveness is that you are not going to hold a grudge, for one. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn that it's not a grudge.
Okay.
That you're really, from your heart, you forgive that person. You may not forget. You don't have to forget. People are like, I forgive, but I don't forgive. Forget. You can choose to forget if you choose, but it's not a have to. Mm-hmm. It's a get to. Okay. It opens up opportunities once you do forgive. And there's just different levels. Sometimes you thought you forgave that person until you're triggered again on a situation.
Good.
You may forgive the person, but you're still working on the situation that happened.
That's a big one, girl.
Yeah. So then you're like, are you stuck between, did I really forgive that person? But to me, I'm like, maybe you have, but you're just, maybe you're working on the situation. Are you forgiving yourself for being in that situation? What is now it gets like a little sticky, but there's so many different levels to work through. But once you work through the levels of forgiveness, it's so freeing.
It is.
I don't know if there's a documentation or something that says anything about forgiveness, but just what I've learned from life and what I've done and what I share with my clients. I just work through the levels myself that I created. So I don't know.
That's an excellent way of putting it. It's a levels. Yes, it has a levels. I think whenever we talk about forgiveness, there is a phrase I heard once in opera show. I don't know, she said it or one of her guests said it. But it's maybe I heard that 15 years ago, maybe, or 12 years at least, but stuck on my mind.
Okay.
And she says, forgiveness, listen to this, forgiveness is giving away that the past could have been any better. Right? So,
it's like letting go of the what if.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's what if, because if we be stuck on a situation where, what if it was not like that? Why did I do that? And this is just eating also, because not going to change, right?
Oh,
It
absolutely.
happened. It's already happened. So if we're going to continuing in that, we're killing ourselves. But when we give away the hope that the situation could have been different, then we can see
Just
it from
move
a different
on.
perspective and move on. And then what I understood also, it's... and here again, we mentioned our friend Ian Levenzan. She talked a lot about that.
Yeah.
When we forgive a situation, it's not that, as you just mentioned, we're forgiving the roughness of it, the hardness of it.
Yeah.
We're not holding grudge in ourselves.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
because this is what kills us. So if someone does something really very harmful or very hurtful, and you're bleeding inside, it's not easy. We're human beings. It's not easy that I can pretend it did not happen because that person I cannot cancel from my life. It's a family or friend or whatever. But I would be the level that you talked about. The first level to me, it would be not personalizing the situation. I would try to understand that this person, they had their reasons for doing that, even if it sounds or it looks unjustified. There's no reason for them why they did that. But then we go to their pathology, we say, or their past or whatever, and understand that there must be a reason that made them feel like that. Then it's not me, it's them.
Yeah.
They did the bad thing, so it's them, it's
yeah.
not me.
Don't keep it on your plate. Just
Let me work and not
Yeah.
allowing these situations to hold me back.
exactly.
You know, not being angry all the time about it. Just forgive the bitterness of the situation and accept it as it's a chance for me to grow, because we grow through our pain more than our joy, right? Or at least equally, but I believe the pain makes you grow really faster. So forgiveness, it means I realize the situation, I understand it well, I'm not allowing it to hold me back. I will let it go. I might deal with this person or not deal with that person, but I'm not, each time that comes to my mind, I'm not shivering and shaking and crying. And, I'll just try to let go from inside, accept the lesson, and then move on from there.
You know what exercise I do? So I have the clients, if they choose that it's a relationship worth repairing or saving, or how big of the issue was, to go have the conversation of what's the story behind that. Like, especially if I even test this concept to go find out what's the story behind that person. So you can find out why that person did that, and you'll realize it wasn't towards you. You realize sometimes the whole thing was just, it wasn't what it seemed.
Yes.
And then you realize, whoa, there's nothing to even forgive.
not me.
It's not you. It's not even an issue. So sometimes there is drama and some issues. So you go and you talk to the person and you find out, you let the person know how it made you feel. This is the way you perceived it, the situation. Hear their side of the story. And sometimes it's easier to forgive the person when you know their story.
I would 100% agree with you, but do you find it challenging clients that they would tell you, I don't care what made them do that?
It's just an option. So if it depends on the
feel that all
situation.
the time,
So before they go there, is this a relationship worth repairing, and how do you want to do it? So it's a choice.
Okay. You're talking from a relationship perspective.
Yes,
Yeah,
not a
Christian.
stranger. But usually my dynamics is family and divorce and families and parents and children. So if it's something that you want to repair, fine. Because also this is the way I was brought up biblically.
Okay.
So biblically, we were brought up to, you go and you speak to the person and you ask for forgiveness if you need to be forgiven. If you don't need to be forgiven, because sometimes it goes both ways.
It goes both ways, yes.
Sometimes.
What if you need to forgive that person?
But you still need to examine what was your part in that situation to see if you need to be forgiven. You have to examine yourself. It goes both ways. But if you think you didn't have a part in it, still go to that person and let them know, if this is troubling you and you want to know their story. Because this is how you can start working on yourself, on the forgiveness.
Yes.
And you can choose.
Absolutely. This is great.
Openly.
Yes.
Oh, this person came from an abusive home and this is the way they've always been talked to. So it's not like they're really a mean person. This is all they know.
This is all they know.
Oh,
right.
my goodness. Oh, this poor person. I forgive them. You don't have to go back and say, I forgive you. You had a horrible
You
life.
can keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
No,
Talk that
no.
way to
Yeah.
you can go back and say, oh, I understand. Okay. And leave them alone, and you can go home and then work on yourself on forgiving them, because I'm sure it's going to be levels. It's not instant.
Absolutely. So if I understand you right, you mean to say when we talk to them, then we help ourselves in reasoning of why this had happened, why did they do that. So we're coming back to our hurt.
Yes.
So this is taking care of yourself.
It's taking care of yourself.
Yeah, you're trying to ask not because you want to justify for them what they did is right and go on do it again and I'll take it because I forgive you. No, forgiveness doesn't mean being the doormat, right?
Yes, that's correct. Hi, caller. Welcome to People to People. What's your name?
My name is Rachel Cope.
Hi, Rachel. I miss you.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
I'm well. You sound so good. How are you doing?
I'm doing much better.
You guys, she's part of the People to People team, so let's give her love.
And hello, Queen Hannah.
Hello, nice talking to you, Rachel.
I was going to call when Rodney was in there. I said, well, you know what, let me call now because I said, oh, man, I can talk about several things about forgiveness and some other things, but I had three things I want to share.
Okay.
How I handle forgiveness, the trauma situation, and being released from my soul that recently just happened. So I'm going to start with the forgiveness part. As you were speaking, Christy, you're concerned about the way you were brought up to forgive people. So I decided to go back of my relationships and decided to call each and every one of them and to ask them to forgive me. And when I did that, I had the most striking conversation with all these men. And especially one said, I've been waiting for this phone call. Now, I accepted this person invitation to meet me at certain events and et cetera, because I wanted to know what took place. And anyway, when I made that call, he was relieved. And he said it wasn't me. All of them said it wasn't me. It was them and them growing up to be a mature man to handle a certain situation that came up. And each and every one of the relationships was more mature than they were. But it relieved both of us. It made me feel better to realize it wasn't my fault. And it made them feel better of me forgiving them. So that's one aspect. The other one was I decided to turn the trauma into the painting. This is as a little girl. When there's activity around the house, the fussing and things like that, I would sit and turn that energy into art.
That's another
that's
way.
why you're so
I wound up being
creative.
very detailed with it because the more the argument went, the more detail I went with it because my anger was out on the painting or
That's
the
very
drawing.
smart. That's
I
very
used
smart
to
way.
do the same thing.
Really?
And I used to play radio station. Imagine that.
Yes.
That's cool.
And I still have these paintings today. Each
very
one
good
has a story behind it
Painting.
pertaining to my pain. Now, recently, had a conversation with someone related to me that dealt with some way when I was a little girl, but it stayed with me subconsciously. And it always bothered me because, you know, I was young at the time. I don't remember everything, but clarification came through a conversation. And the person mentioned it, and then my memory came back. Mm-hmm. I said, oh, my goodness. I said, you remember that? Mm-hmm. And it relieved me to make sure I was imagining things. Okay?
Yeah. So you took that conversation.
That trauma right there just wiped away off my chest and my heart of forgiveness.
It sounds like you did a lot of conversating, like you did conversations with people to clear the air.
Yes, I do.
And that's the kind of coaching I do, because in order to work on myself, it's for me and the clients, they actually seem okay about clearing the air. It's not easy at first.
It's not easy at first, you're right.
Yeah, but it feels good once you take the first step.
Now, I have some, well, it could be for both of y'all, something that happened to me while I was going through the COVID. But this could also be helpful for those that's listening, that's in some health crisis, okay? So my situation was that I was being mistreated, okay? It's like a nightmare. And I'm trying to deal with that because I haven't slept yet. I've been up at 1:30, still up because of the incident. So how do you forgive that person or people and release that when it's dealing with the facility as a whole or the individual? Because, you know, I saw people who were like zombie state. And I'm talking about senior citizens. These are your loved ones. And you got siblings that don't go visit them. And, you know, and my roommate, you know, she yelling and complaining about the relationship as well as being treated. But I know these people are doing the best they know how. But she's sitting over there crying because she wanted to be home. She wanted to hear from her family.
Is this a facility, Rachel?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Most facilities have a patient relations board that you would go and talk to.
Patient relations.
Yes. So you would call the main number. You can call the operator, the main number, and ask to be transferred to patient relations.
And what do they do?
So they there's usually a patient relations. They advocate for the patients.
Okay.
So it's a formal complaint where you can go. Now this is for a hospital, mental health facilities, things like that. You can go to. It's called patient relations.
And that includes the kind of conflict Rachel is talking about?
Anything that you feel like if you weren't treated fairly, if you saw a patient that wasn't treated fairly, even if you see a patient mistreating an employee, you can go to patient relations, and you can report your complaint, and then from there they escalate it, and they should be following up with you on how they escalated it. So you would just keep following up with them.
I think that would be one way, Christy, right?
That's one way.
But what I understood from Rachel is she's trying to deal with the things internally, with the challenge, whatever happens with people.
For the forgiveness?
Yeah, for the forgiveness. I think this would be the first step, and then we take action. And I mean, depends on the situation, of course.
But to deal with her heart, forgiveness of her heart, of the people.
Did I get that right, Rachel? I mean, you first deal with your emotions.
Right.
And forgiveness here, as Christy had just mentioned, it's 2 levels or levels. But now we're talking about the self-forgiveness and then others, forgiveness for others. So do you practice self-forgiveness as well? It doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong for yourself, but sometimes being in this situation by itself is something we can forgive ourselves for.
That is the approach I'm trying to deal with right now, because I'm not that kind of person to get back at you in a negative way.
Sure.
And it's like, wow, you know, that wasn't right, you know, and I felt less than the way I was treated, you know, and it really put me in a bad spot, like I was some type of animal.
And
you know, left the dog outside in the chain and cold, you know, didn't check the wounds at all. That's how I felt.
And for that's why, for me, I feel like standing up for yourself and taking the first move.
Right.
It adds something to your power.
Yes.
Because you felt maybe, I don't want to put words, I don't know how you felt as a patient or watching other people. It's like things are happening out of your power.
Yes.
So
that too.
For me, the forgiveness would be getting back your power and your confidence. And then understanding, unfortunately, you get to understand people are doing the best that they can do. And unfortunately, from the medical background, this is where I have the compassion because I've seen it. And I talk about knowing their story.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm going to tell you my part and how I forgave people, because I had a hard time forgiving my own co-workers on how they treated COVID patients. What I started doing is I started going into the patients' rooms, because what happens is we're told as caregivers to go straight into the rooms one time, bring everything you need to bring in, and come out. Because we are so exposed, we don't want to get sick and bring that home to our families. We don't want to miss work. COVID is very dangerous for everyone. Unfortunately, I felt like that was unfair, but that's what we're told, because think about it, you're not the only person. Like I had a whole COVID wing, so I had at one time 6 COVID patients. So we can't spend like extra 10, 15 minutes. However, they were wrong. They were wrong. You had wound care and all that stuff. That's 45 minutes to an hour that they need to stay in your room. I get it. I'm not sticking up for them. But what I did was I just started spending more time in their rooms. I've prayed for patients. I've held their hand. I've asked them how they feel mentally. I didn't fear COVID. Unfortunately, not everybody has that mental concept. So we got to meet people where they are.
Yes.
And this is also being yourself, Christy.
This is being myself.
This is being yourself.
And you are a God-fearing woman. You are protected. What one patient did, every time somebody came in his room, he talked about God. He let them know about the love of God and that he's there for a reason. So he took control, even if it was just his mouth and his faith, if that's the only power he had.
And that's sometimes more powerful than anything else.
So yes, you were mistreated, and it is not fair. You're going to get your power back, whatever means necessary, and you get to choose if you want to forgive those people. And then if you would like to help others, you have the power of prayer. You can cover those other people that weren't taken care of, because you are blessed and you are here. So instead of, there's a choice of being upset and needing to now forgive them because you have a grudge, or you have a choice to say, how am I going to empower this situation? I'm going to pray for these. I'm going to pray for these patients. I'm going to pray for those workers. I'm going to pray that they don't have fear, that they have love. So there's a choice here, and this is where I say you take responsibility and forgiveness and the story that you choose to write.
Right. I appreciate you, ladies.
I appreciate you too, Rachel. Thank you for calling.
You're very courageous, Rachel. I mean, when you choose forgiveness, it takes a lot to do that. This is very, very courageous act from you. So, well done.
Well done. Thank you for calling, and let us know how it goes.
Yes,
okay?
yes. Do let us know.
I'm working on it. I will let you guys know.
And stick to it. Keep it up.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Rodney and Zizi.
Love you, Rachel.
Love you. Bye.
Love y'all.
Okay. She said, keep up the good work.
Yeah.
So
good.
I think we have
That's
about 8 more minutes if anyone else wants to call in. Oh, the microphone. Hey. Thank you, Maya. Baby girl on it. We have about 8 more minutes. Please call in at 703-752-6120. 703-752-6120. Come on, you guys. This is free coaching. Right on the spot.
Right?
I love it.
Yeah, it's very exciting, really, very interesting.
What did you think about the different concept that I spoke of?
Yeah, I think it's maybe one leads to another. I think they all relate together, like what we were talking earlier, even with Richard. I hope Richard is still listening to that. So it's you start with yourself, and then it goes to others. So even in forgiveness, we forgive ourselves first, and then forgive others. Try to forgive others. So it's, as you said, it's levels. And it's work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
Endless job, yeah.
And it's always a choice.
That's the prime thing. It's always everything we talk about here. It's actually a choice.
And that's what I love about coaching versus like therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists.
Yeah, because
coaching
therapy and psychiatrists, I mean, sometimes you have to go because the situation maybe it's becoming a medical thing. Then you push yourself to that limit, then it's needed. But coaching is a choice, right?
They always guide you to let you know you have a choice.
Right. Coaching
So
is a choice, yeah.
you can have I have all 3. But I love that the coaching part, there's a choice. And even when I go to the therapist, I choose a social worker because social workers don't treat me like I'm a textbook.
All right. That's very big one. That's very important. Dealing with emotions, right? With the real human in you. It's not like, as per the book, I have to do 1, 2, 3. We're not trying to say others are doing that, but
we're not saying that, but I'm going to be honest about my experience. You get to choose who you have therapy with, who your coaches are. It's all your choice. So if it doesn't work for you, try another one. But it's once you find the right one, I mean, like, you're amazing. Like, you can fly. That's the whole point.
That's the thing, yeah. So being a coach, do you have a coach for yourself? I do sometimes.
I do. So I have a coach. She's marvelous. And I have actually a coaching group that I can always chime in with. It's like a support group. Okay. It's called High Impact Coaching, if that's okay to say. So those are coaches that are always there. I went to school with them, one of my schools.
Oh, nice.
And then I went to another school, Stratford. But there's like a lifetime of support.
Do you also have this? Because I always say with the people I did the coaching learning with, we become a family. It's like we all share a big secret that we only know. Yeah. So we're very open with each other. Things just flow. So is it us or you also share like that bond?
Yeah, we do. We do. Hey, you guys out in the audience, let us know, like, which one do you prefer, coaching or therapy? Like, do you know the difference? Let us know in the comments,
and share your experience about forgiveness.
And let us know. What do you think about tonight? And you know what? I would love to give some homework.
Let's do that.
I want you guys to do some homework and to do some thinking tonight while you're laying down before you go to bed. I want you guys to think of one person or a situation that you were in that probably you may have put yourself in.
A situation, I would say. Yeah.
You would say a situation for themselves?
For themselves. A situation that they found themselves in it.
And I want you to write yourself a letter and figure out if you choose to forgive yourself for that situation.
Figure out if you want to forgive yourself or write it from a forgiveness perspective.
They have to be ready to forgive.
Yeah.
I want you so write the letter when you're ready to forgive, and then write it from a forgiveness perspective.
And see the difference before writing the letter and after writing the letter.
How you feel.
How you feel.
That's your homework. And we'll check in next week. Let us know, do you feel better? Do you feel like you emptied your suitcase? Definitely.
Became lighter, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah?
Yeah, I like that.
And everyone can do it. Even mentally you can think about it, right? I mean,
in
a situation and just recite the letter mentally.
You can do that
You
mentally.
can do that too.
And just let it go. Write it on a paper, burn it, bury it, whatever, let it go.
Let it go.
Don't keep it. Let it go, because you're going to forgive yourself at the end. So how many minutes do we have? We're about to wrap up. Nope, we're going to keep going. So please. We have a few more minutes, so I want you guys to just call in.
And maybe we can continue sharing about your experience with forgiveness till someone calls.
You keep it. I had the best results. I'm going to say the technique I did was the letter.
Oh, you did that.
And I had the best results. Final words? Final words.
Final word for today. I
Yes.
would say forgiveness is I think it's opening the door for ourselves to grow beyond the experience, beyond what it seems, what appears to be the experience. So we're going deeper because we're lighter, and then we can see through more clearly. So forgiveness really does that to me. It allows me to see what's beneath the situation.
Oh, that's good. For me, forgiveness makes space for more.
Oh,
So you want more in your life, you want to receive more, you want to do more, you have newness you want to come into your life. Let something go. Forgive, let go, and receive more.
that's great. Let it go so that something else can come in the place, in the state. Yeah,
Yep.
That's great.
All right, so that's it. Thank you for tuning in. We want you guys to go to YouTube. Go to Rodney Grimes.
Oh, we have a YouTube.
Yes,
already? Oh, I didn't
people to
know
people,
that.
okay, you guys?
Okay.
Like and subscribe. Don't forget to share, okay, you guys? Thank you for tuning in. Again, this is People to People with Rodney Grimes. Hit it, Maya. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we.